That's very slow.
It's very slow.
Hey, is this any better?
Hey, yeah, that's a lot better. I can hear you a lot better. How are you?
Okay, there's a pretty big delay. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. So I'll just tell you what I'm thinking here. I think we'll just go through a couple things, just your own personal experience, and then what you can share about the USAID project, and then we'll record this and I'll edit it down to share it internally. Does that sound good?
Sounds good. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, cool. Well, do you want to tell me how your trip has been so far, just generally? I know you had some trouble at the airport getting in.
That's true. The trip's been really good. It was a pretty long journey to get here, and I got over eager with my travel, I think, packing, because I pulled my vaccine card out of my passport right before I left New York, thinking that I hadn't used it for about, I don't know, 10 years or so, and it was falling apart, sort of like my Social Security card. So I thought I don't want to lose it, so I'll just leave it at home. And sure enough, we arrived in Kinshasa after probably almost 24 hours flying, pretty tired, and got through immigration just fine. But before we got to our baggage, they stopped me and Blanca and made us show our yellow vaccine cards to prove that we had been vaccinated with yellow fever. And I, of course, thought, oh man, this is it. I don't have mine, so what's going to happen next? Blanca had hers, and she got through, and then they asked me to show it, and I said no. So he said, well, you can pay $80 in cash to get through, or you don't get into the country. And so I said, oh, come on, I've got it on my email. And he said, no, I need to see the yellow card physically to check. $80. And I said, how about 40? And he said, no, 80. And then we said, well, can we get a receipt? And he said, $60 you get a receipt, $40 no receipt. So we settled on 40 and got in fine.
Great, that's so funny. But I'm glad you got in.
Thanks.
How is it? Is there anything exciting or any insights that you've seen or experienced personally? Any crazy experiences or any anecdotes or stories?
For sure. First of all, I think that what I thought DRC would be like is much different than how it actually is. I think that the media plays a picture of this place as being extremely corrupt and dangerous, and a lot of times people who don't have sources who are on the ground or people that they know from this country would probably assume that that's actually what the day-to-day is, but it's not really the case at all. I mean, there's definite challenges, and I wouldn't say that it seems like it's very easy or organized, but it certainly doesn't feel unsafe, and the people are some of the warmest, I think, that we've encountered. The hotel is interesting because it's centered right in the middle of town, and every time we leave, we're sort of bombarded by a bunch of people trying to sell us things, and we've been advised by our local driver and our translator to not bring any possessions with us when we leave the hotel. I think not because they think that we're going to get robbed, but because clearly we're walking out of a really nice hotel and could end up having danger come to us by virtue of the fact that we're just staying where we are and look the way we do. So we leave with nothing. We have jewelry and no computers and no cell phones, just basically business cards and pads of paper, things that people probably won't want to take. But what we found is that everybody's been really warm and welcoming, and it's been a big surprise for me to see how different it was from what I actually imagined. It functions like any other big city in the world.
That's really interesting. Is there someone that you've met that had a big impact on the way you see the DRC, or a funny story of someone you've met?
I've got a few. I'm actually taking a good photo collection that I'd be happy to share with you, and maybe you can put into this feed of all of the people that walk around with the most bizarre things balancing on their heads. So because I don't have a camera and usually I don't have my phone, I'm taking the pictures from car windows when we're stopped in traffic. But we've seen Uh, we've seen like probably 8 dozen eggs stacked on top of somebody's head. We've seen bundles of bananas. We've seen oranges. We've seen about 40 water bottles balancing on somebody's head. And the funny thing is that people just go about their business. Like they walk around and they stop and they have conversations. They're wearing purses and they're acting totally normal, but they have these giant towers of objects on their head. So that's been entertainment for us.
It's really funny. And I'd love to talk about, everything you guys have accomplished with USAID, but are you at the hotel now, or are you, it looks like you're outside.
We are, yeah. We actually, apologies if we're a little delirious, and maybe you'll get to talk to Blanca in a second, but we've been packing our schedules so tight that we just got back here, and we don't really have the chance to take breaks or eat, so we're feeling blood sugar a little bit at this point. It's been a series of really, really long days, so after this we're going to go get some dinner. But the USAID work is going exceptionally well. I have so much to update the team on. We've met with everybody who we could have imagined wanting to meet with, I think, at this point. We met with the National Minister of Education today. We met with the the provincial Minister of Education, Culture and Environment. We're meeting with the National Education, the Minister of Gender tomorrow. When we went to meet with the provincial minister the other day, we had to wait quite a while, and these local the ministry buildings are really strange because they're filled with people that you don't really know what they're doing, and they're coming up and down stairs, and there's no real order to them, much like the rest of the city. And you get shuffled from room to room to room, waiting and waiting, and then all of a sudden they take you into this giant room that looks like it should be in the Oval Office with the big Congolese flag and a big oak desk and just, this powerful woman sitting behind there who welcomes you, and they shut the curtains and they shut the door. So this happened, and we got into the office, but there were like 4 cameras shooting video and following us around and sort of focusing in on Blanca as she was talking and focusing in on the minister, and we didn't really understand what was happening. We were just trying to have a conversation, which went really, really well.
That's great.
But when it all ended, we realized that it was a bunch of local press that had been called down to document the minister's conversation with us about this campaign that we're about to launch. So it was really exciting. She ended up walking downstairs with all of her armed guards, and we went outside, and they interviewed me and Blanca and the minister all together for the local news, which was really cool.
Wow, that's really cool. And I know that Christina had sent an update email a few days ago and said that you guys were meeting with TV and radio stations. How is that going?
It's been so good. We've met with several TV stations and several radio stations, and I think one of the biggest learnings that I've had in this trip, even with people who work in development and who work specifically with girls and women and also with TV and radio, is that there's a huge desire right now amongst Congolese people, both in the tent and outside of the tent, to work on this issue. There's no doubt that people think that educating girls is the right answer, and I think it's really important for everyone at home and for all of us to realize that what we're coming in with, our message, isn't new to these people. They already understand that they want their girls to be in school. What they need are the resources to help provide breaking down those barriers to keeping their girls in school. So the issues that keep coming up time and time again with everybody, media, ministers, NGOs, leaders, is that there's a huge violence problem in school. There's school fee problem that, frankly, schools are so expensive here that parents just can't afford it. And there's a lot of subsidy programs trying to help parents afford sending their kids to school, but it's not enough. At a certain point, they just can't keep them all, and families are large. The quality is very poor. There's not enough women teachers, and that oftentimes when kids are going to school, they're being exposed to sexual violence in the classroom, oftentimes even by their teachers, which is a big reason why parents are bringing getting their girls out of school. Another thing in rural communities is that there just aren't enough schools, and that the schools are too far. So the risk of having their kids go such a distance, if they're even able to go that distance, and having something happen to them on the way to school is not worth sending them. So there's definite barriers that are emerging consistently across all sectors that are really important like I said, the people here understand that the next generation is going to be reliant upon the girls that get educated and helping lift this country. That's not news to them. What they want is help with the state government and all of the other agencies and foundations and people who can come in and help solve the problems to combating those specific barriers.
Gotcha. And have they made any suggestions of how Girl Rising can be helpful in facilitating any of those changes?
People are so excited about Girl Rising, which has been honestly really reaffirming, because I think that we had probably internally some apprehension about there not being a DRC girl in the film and there not being a real a story that really taps on the issues at hand here, post-conflict country, a very different landscape than any of the other countries featured in our film. But so far, we haven't had anybody say that that would be a serious problem. We've had people definitely suggest that we have a DRC girl, but I think it's coming more from their pride than it is from we need one in order for this film to make sense. Mm-hmm. So obviously radio is the biggest way that people communicate here, and it's been advised to us time and time again that trying to do radio adaptations of Girl Rising would probably reach the biggest population and have the biggest impact. So that's definitely something I think we're going to continue to pursue. The TV stations are already sort of fighting for the bid for who can get it and who can get it quickest and fastest. So there's a definite need for content for TV. We knew that coming in, but now that we've actually met with TV stations, we understand that they want to share these stories. They've got ideas from airing the full film to breaking it up into a 9-month sort of segmented series where they'll air one chapter several times in a month and do a lot of additional content around it. Maybe interviews with celebrities about the issue, another interview with an expert around the particular barrier. So it would be a longer term thing. So we've got a lot of really cool ideas to play around with.
Wow, that sounds really, really great. And I know that's really interesting. I think the radio idea is really powerful. And I know that you've also been talking to our potential partner, and I know we can't really talk about who that is, but is there anything you're able to share about the organization, about what they do, or about the potential there?
Yeah, I can share a little bit about them. It's a collaboration amongst several NGOs that are working here on a particular program, and the program has very good standing in the community. It's been interesting because every meeting that we go to, once again, whether it's with USAID or at the State Department or with the Congolese Foundation, I would say that oftentimes people are bringing up the program as a really good example of a program that's working here in Kinshasa and Lubumbashi. And while we can't ever smile, and we're trying to keep poker face the whole time and not, give any reason for them to believe that that's going to be our partner, hopefully, it's really reaffirming to know that people respect that program a lot and that it keeps coming up in conversation as a model program.
That's great, and I know everyone's excited to hear what it is if it gets approved. For those who have seen the film in the DRC, is there a certain chapter that they connect with, or is there a certain aspect of the film that they think is really powerful for their community?
Yes, hands down, Wadley so far is the fan favorite by far. I think it's for a couple of reasons. Number one, she's adorable. Number two, that the school fee and access issue is one that a lot of people here can relate to. And while her situation happened because of a refugee camp and a natural disaster, I think that the actual idea of a girl wanting so badly to go to school but not having the school fees to do it resonates really well with the local audience here. Third, they speak Creole, French Creole, obviously, and here in Kinshasa, the primary language is French, so people are able to assimilate to the language and relate that way. So that chapter, by far, so far, has been the one that people have really enjoyed.
That's great. Yeah, she is so adorable. Well, that's great. Is there anything else you'd like to share, or if you want to just maybe do a 360 and show everyone a little tour of the hotel or where you guys are hanging out?
Yeah, sure. I can share a couple other quick things that have happened. We had a wonderful event last night at the Hotel Memling that invited stakeholders from all of our networks to watch a couple of chapters of the film, to meet one another, and to talk to Blanc and I about what we're hoping to accomplish here in DRC. So we actually had a phenomenal turnout. We had a beautiful room rented with a giant screen put up. We showed 2 chapters of the film to about 30, 35 people. From the deputy director of the USAID mission came, to Huawei, to World Vision, to some new partners, local partners. We even had Miss Vodacom Kinshasa show up, who was just reigned the new young Miss Vodacom, which was, I guess, a big reality TV series that just ended here. And she came in her tiara and her high heels and charmed the crowds. So it was a pretty good event. We had a little bit of press there as well, which was exciting because Blanca and I haven't arranged press at all for any event, and word of mouth is powerful. So people are just sort of calling their friends and spreading the word. So overall, I couldn't have really imagined a better event, except for we had a little sound glitch, which just from producer background really bothers me when people can't see the film in its best state. But the reaction that we got from everybody was wonderful, and we had to end up stopping the questions because people just kept asking them afterward when we did a Q&A, and we had to get out of the room at one point. We still wanted people to network. So that was a great success, and we had a lot of follow-up from that event, which is another reason why we were so busy today. Thinking, any other updates? Say hi to Blanca. Say hi.
Hello. Hi, Blanca. Hi.
I feel like there's a couple other funny things we can...
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the event went really well, and it's amazing that the press came to cover you guys when you didn't organize it at all.
Yeah, no, it's been really good. We are searching for our country manager here as well, and we've interviewed a couple of candidates who were all really strong, but so far there's one candidate in particular. It's a woman who we just find really resonates with the same energy that a lot of our team at home has. She's very welcoming. She's gentle. She's warm. She gets the issue. You can tell she has a strong desire to succeed in this cause and in her own life. You can tell she's a real sort of go-getter. She speaks perfect French. She speaks perfect English. She was born here in DRC, and then she grew up in Brussels, and then she went to university in Washington, D.C. So she speaks English and French and maybe Lingala as well. And we're definitely hoping to continue to interview more candidates as well as her and make a decision really soon. But I just thought that was a great thing to share, because we've got people that are going to fit in really well with the team. I'm very confident about that.
That's great. She sounds like such a great fit, and it sounds like you guys are having an amazing trip, and it's been so successful so far.
It's true. We are. It's one of those things where I think Blanca and I feel so lucky to be here representing the project on behalf of everyone at home that's helping set all of this up, and we just want you guys to know that we're so thankful for all the hard work that you've put in. We wish that everybody had the chance to be here to experience all of the Girl Rising Foundation and support that you've created around the world is now being taken to a place and really invested into DRC, and people recognize its value, and I don't know how to express it back to you, because it's more of a feeling than it is something that we can see right now. But everybody who we're meeting is, and literally everybody, we haven't had one naysayer yet, is so pleased that we're able to bring this this important campaign to Congo. So thank you all so much.
Thanks, Justin, and I'm sure on behalf of everyone, thank you guys so much for your hard work over there, and it sounds like it's been so amazing and such a success, and everything's going so well.
It is. I can send you some photos, Sam, of all of the people with random objects on their head. If you want, you can try and play around with them and mix it into this.
Yeah, definitely.
Thinking if we have any. Oh, oh yeah, we have photos with the minister. We have photos of us getting interviewed with the minister, with like the random press outside the ministry, which was crazy. And then I have photos. Blanca was laughing at me because she left me unattended for like 10 minutes, and I was taking pictures with Miss Vodacom at our party. So I have pictures with her as well. So I can send those back to the team. Tomorrow's our last day here in Kinshasa. We are totally packed. We're meeting the Minister of Gender in the morning. And we're meeting a couple other radio stations. We're meeting with a couple more NGOs. We have like a 9 to 9 day tomorrow. So we will be sleeping well on our plane to India on Saturday. We'll arrive India on Sunday, and looking forward to catching up with everybody next week and filling you in on our India work.
Wow, that's great. No, thanks, Justin. Yeah, definitely send those along. I'm sure the team would love to see them. But yeah, that sounds great, and then we'll touch base maybe early next week and see if we can organize a big Google Hangout that maybe we can circulate in a blog or something external with whoever, if people from our NGO partners want to participate, or anyone that you've met that you think would be interesting.
Sounds great. Yeah, definitely. Keep us posted.
Okay. Thanks, you guys. I'll edit it down and definitely send it to you, but thanks for taking the time. I know you guys are so busy, and please go get dinner now. I know it's super late for you guys.
Sounds good. We're going to go eat. Thanks a lot, Sam.
All right, thanks. Have a good time and a safe flight.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.